my name is Anna Maliszewski. I am the knitter and pattern designer and author behind the blog Knitting Up a Storm. Today is Tuesday, March 31st. This is episode 7, and welcome back to the show, or welcome to the show. This is a knitting, spinning, weaving, sometimes dyeing podcast, and I hope you enjoy. I have something on the needles, and I have finished spinning a previous spin project, so I have a little bit to show you. I did not podcast last week. That's because I've been very busy with life, holidays, and work commitments. So today is about 2 weeks since the last podcast. So let's talk about what's on the needles this week. I have been working on the Abrianna cardigan. Last time I podcast, I was about halfway through the ribbing. Let me move this candle. Otherwise I'll have to start all over. So this pattern, if you could see it on the screen, is a berry in the box pattern. And so there's, some eyelets through here, and basically it's little circles that are created by increasing and then decreasing all of them. So they pop out a little bit. They're almost like baubles in a way. But I am using Berroco's Latitude, I believe Latitude yarn. So it's metallic. And it's a little stiff, so this cardigan that I'm knitting is going to be a little bit crisper than the one in the pattern, but the yarn that they suggested is discontinued. So I basically had to search for something that was close. I know that metallic yarn works well in this pattern, so it was a good alternative. So I really hope that the crispness of the shawl, or I shouldn't say shawl because it's a cardigan, does not bug me, that it doesn't itch, because it's not as soft as what the yarn should be. I wouldn't use just a regular wool yarn because this pattern does not show up well. It needs something that's kind of ribbony, so that's why I chose this type of yarn. Because basically it's all synthetic yarn, and it does not pillow like some yarns, like wool does over time when you rub it or wash it. So it should stay intact. The only thing I have to worry about is stretching. So I'm going to have to be really careful about washing this and not letting it stretch open. I did the size small only because I feel like my gauge might be slightly larger than their gauge. I am working on size 5 needles at this point. Before I did size 3 on the ribbing, so that it was a nice tight ribbing. It's just a 2x2 ribbing. I am using my clover needles. I'm a little frustrated with these needles for this pattern because I feel like it's not sharp enough, because I have to knit in the back of 2 of the stitches and then immediately have to knit into the front of 3 stitches, and it's just a little hard to stick the needle in and slide it through without feeling like I'm going to break my needle. Plus the wood, I don't know, it kind of catches at the join of the cord and the needle, so when I'm trying to slide some of my project up, it's a little bit of a pain to slide it. So I would like to use the Knit Picks needle because it's a little bit sharper and it's a metal, so I feel like it would be really durable for doing faster lace knitting for the berry in the box the berry in the box stitch pattern. I can't talk today. I guess I can never. I'm always getting tongue-tied when I do podcasts. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the pattern, except for the rows that slow me down where I have to do all that intricate knitting into the back and increasing rows. Other than that, there's 3 rows where you just knit and purl, and those are pretty fast, but yeah. So basically that's all I've been working on for knitting. Let me show you what the cardigan looks like. Okay, so let's get to the spinning segment of the show. You're probably sick of this yarn that I've been working on by now because I keep mentioning it. So last time we talked, I had spun 430 yards of this. Remember this? I called this Midnight Tide for the colorway, and I had 2 of these done. I needed to rewind one of these because it was too short to twist and put into the nice skein. So I did that so that they are relatively the same height. And then I did the rest. So the big one here is about 180 yards. And then I have this mini skein. I was afraid of going overkill on the bobbin, so I just decided to do 1 mini skein. Looking at this compared to the other ones, I feel like this is more like a sport weight yarn, whereas this is more like a lighter to standard worsted weight, which is a little bit of a problem if I need to do, I don't know, if I made like a sweater or something. However, I feel like I'm probably going to use this hand spun yarn to make a shawl, and so the body of the shawl would probably be the thicker weight, and then the thinner weight I would probably use for the lace because you can open it up and it's not so much of a problem because of blocking. Blocking does wonders. So altogether, this is an estimate because of that yardage counter was, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. So I know it's not an accurate reading, but it's a good guess at how much, how much yarn I spun. So 430 plus 180 plus 60, that's about 670 yards of this stuff. And I had an 8-ounce roving pack, so it has been a long project for me because I'm a beginner spinner, and I would spin for a while and then just leave it on the wheel and forget about it, almost like a crock pot, set it and forget it. Which is not good, but that's what happened over and over. So I have finally completed it. My spinning wheel is empty as 3 bobbins, so I only have 1 bobbin of yarn, a single ply yarn spun. I will double ply this. I was thinking about Navajo plying this, but I was afraid that since this is a thicker weight, I wouldn't get a lot of yardage out of it. I want to make sure I have enough yards to at least do a hat or something worthwhile for hand spun. So I really won't triple ply something if I know I'm only going to get about 100 yards out of it. I feel like that's not enough to do anything with it. So, sorry for the bump. So anyways, I finally found the roving that I will double ply with this pink colorway. I have no idea what the company is to this. My guess is this is fine merino. I have no idea how much this weighs because I didn't do that ahead of time. So I will get back to you about the weight and how many yards later. But this this roving I hand carded and turned it into a loose rolag, no idea how to pronounce that. The color was a little darker, but when I hand carded it, it got much lighter. There's supposed to be pink flecks and orange and a little bit of black, and it really lined up. So I hope when I spin it, it kind of darkens up. So I feel like this will when it darkens. Mixed pretty well with this. It's the best matching roving that I have in my stash. Oh, I forgot to bring something, so I'll have to have a little cut in this show because I do have stash enhancement to show you. But anyways, let's talk about what I'm sipping on, because I usually need some caffeine in my life, especially now when I'm recording. Oh, my roving's caught to my cup. Okay, so this is not like for the season or anything, but I'm drinking Twinnings chai pumpkin spice tea. Like I said, not this season. Should probably be drinking something spring-like, but that's what's in my mug. I put some cream and then I put a cinnamon stick in there so it's extra spicy. I think it's really good though when you're looking for something cinnamony. Alright, so let's get to stash enhancement. Alright, so about a week and a half ago I made the trip up to Richmond, Illinois to the Wool Warp and Wheel yarn shop, and I went in specifically for another bobbin for my spinning wheel. They did not have the bobbin that I needed, so I will have to go online and purchase that. But I did look around. I was the only customer in there, so the male owner was really just yapping my head off, talking about tips and such for spinning. I did tell him that I was a newbie, but he was just going on and on about things that I needed to learn, things that I must do to be a good spinner. Now I love like when people give you free tips and all, but it was getting to the point where I just wanted to look around, and he was just talking, and an hour passed by and I'm like, I need to look for something because you guys are about to close. So I did find things to buy. I knew that I was going to look through their roving stash. One of the things he told me was that as a beginner spinner that I should purchase some blue-faced Leicester. Oh my gosh, I can't pronounce anything. I've been using like fine merino, but he was not impressed with that because he said the length of the hair is shorter, so when you're trying to spin you have less time to pull it out. Like I guess the blue-faced Leicesters have longer hairs, so it gives you a little more time to lengthen the roving. And like the worst thing that you could do is let the spin get into the roving. So it's supposed to be easier for beginners, although it's probably better for other reasons too. So I got this nice colorway called Daffidil. This is what the ends look like. Nice and fluffy. So supposedly this, you know, is longer than what I've been using. I wanted to get a colorway that was different than what I have in my stash. I have a lot of blues, pinks, orangey, and then some weird colors like black and gold for like Hawkeye colors. So I wanted to get something that was completely different. And I think this was the ticket. This is 4 ounces. It's hand-dyed in Vermont. It's a company called Frabjous Fibers. Now that's kind of in cursive, so it looks like Frabjous Fibers. So yeah, we'll see how that spins up. And I'll take his word for it that it'll be easier. So that's one of the things that I purchased. I also bought another skein of Opal. This is one of their supposedly newer lines called Sweet and Spicy, or Sweet squared, or 2 and Spicy. And this is the colorway, it's all in German. Let me see. I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. I can barely pronounce English. Rotkohl, I think that's it. And so this is what this will look like when it's knit up. Hopefully you can see without glare. So, yeah, I love Opal. It's very durable. I have a pair that I knit years ago and it's still holding up. I love the instant patterning that it does, where it looks like you're striping it and it looks like you're doing intarsia, and it's all like freebie coloring when you're doing nothing but vanilla socks. So I love that because I'm lazy. No, I'm not lazy, I'm just busy. I'm a busy mom of twins and I just don't want hassle. Just want something relaxing, simple, something that I could set down for about 3 years, no, just kidding, and just pick it up and just go right at it without worrying about where am I in the pattern. So, yeah, I love Opal. I think I have about like four or five balls or skeins of this stuff in different colors, so I'm happy about that. Okay, another thing that I bought was another cord for my Denise interchangeable set. My husband bought me the full interchangeable set a long time ago, and I have, they come in blue in the set, and I feel like this is my longest cord, which is a problem because I can't make a lot of things on this size or length, and so I went in there and they had some. Now it's lavender, which is kind of cool, but this size is 52 inches. I like the set for a completely different reason than the knit picks. This set, I mean, I love how you just twist on, twist off, and it's locked. I don't have to use a key. This cord might be good for, I don't know, projects that you want to make sure that it's like staying on like a needle width. Does that make sense? I don't know, that doesn't make sense. I don't know. You would never use this for the magic loop because it's way too thick and it doesn't bend very well. That's why I like the Knit Picks interchangeable needle set, because it's very flexible. I like working with metal needles. This is plastic, so one of the cons is you could break this for the smaller sizes. And you're gonna get a visit from my son. Are you gonna say hi? Say hi. He just woke up from his nap. Look at the camera. Hi. Hi. Alright. Go play. Okay. The last thing that I bought was little samples of wool wash, and these are only 35 cents. I like the grapefruit and the eucalyptus scent, and the reason why I bought like 2, 4, 6, 7, I bought 7 of these. And if you're making like hand knit socks or some sort of present that is wool and you don't want them to ruin it with detergent, or I don't know what they're gonna do. People are kind of weird when they wash like gifts that are hand knit. So it's good to buy samples and then give them a few so that they treat their hand knit properly. So I bought a ton to just really give away to other people because I have a large bottle of wool wash. So these are just for gifts. Anyways, since my son is up, this is going to be a little bit shorter now. I think the only last thing I had to say was hot in the moment. So something that I have been enjoying lately. This week, since I just bought this, I bought this candle called Vanilla Cedar Glow. It's from Better Homes and Gardens, which means that Walmart sells this, and I don't care for Walmart very much. I'd rather go to Target, but sometimes I need to go to Walmart still. And they sell this for about $5 something, and it smells like vanilla and sandalwood. So it's a very like warm, inviting smell. So I'm enjoying that scent in my home. I guess other things that we've been doing lately is it's getting warmer, so we are going outside and riding our bikes and just enjoying the sunshine. I mean, there's nothing really new except for getting a new mattress and being busy with rehearsals and teaching and duets and stuff. So that is all for this week. Next week I hope to get further on the back of my cardigan, and I will be starting that second ply to this yarn that's going to be spun up. I'm going to be working some more on the office socks because I haven't touched it this week. I hope you have a good week and enjoy the sunshine. It's supposed to be pretty nice out. Yep. So enjoy. Bye.